Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Kathy, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Roman, are you doing?
I'm good.
Excelente. Very,
Have,
very good.
having weird dogs, how bad can you feel?
This is a
Not
good
bad.
subject, and the reason why I had suggested that we do a weird things that dogs do. I'm sitting and I'm watching, and I put a piece of hot dog
Mm-hmm.
on the floor, and I see Charlie going all over the place, and he pushes it all the way in the corner. He goes and gets a paper plate off the floor, brings the paper plate over to the hot dog, pushes the hot dog on the paper plate. And I've never seen him do that before. And I thought, is he cleaning up? What is he doing?
He's
It
only
was,
allowed to eat off the plate. He's a smart dog.
there you go.
He's well educated.
Yeah, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's very interesting. So when they have these weird habits, there's obviously science behind it. And I think we think it's very
There is no
cute.
science behind it. They do what they want.
Oh, okay.
They
All
wrap
right. Well
around their
then,
fingers. That's scientific evidence. I do it
okay.
anyway.
Yeah, well then color me wrong.
Oh my God. We have some illustration to trigger the topic of weird things dogs are doing.
Before you
Okay.
show them your super pictures,
Yeah.
how about people stop subscribing to a YouTube channel so they're not missing the future picture, the future stories?
Okay.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's
Because that's
fine
how
with.
you get lost in the universe of videos. You miss
Yes,
it.
Yes.
it's true.
So
Please
subscribe.
subscribe. Subscribe. Especially if you're on YouTube. You
On
subscribe to our
Facebook too, on
on our
LinkedIn too. You can always follow, right?
Yes,
Right.
please subscribe to our platform, and not limited to, but Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and YouTube will be nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Hermit. Kermit. Kermit.
Kermit.
Here's
Okay.
my answer to you.
Ah, there you go.
So this guy is a very interesting guy, and he's very expressive because he can smile.
So it looks really funny, and I see many people actually interpret these things. First of all, I have to admit, he lives in an RV. He has a hell of a life, right?
Yeah.
And
And you
and
speak out of experience, of
right,
course.
right. So those are basically clear signs. In that case, the previous one and the smiling is kind of stress signals. So that picture where he has his tongue out is basically lip licking or nose licking, and that's kind of the tongue goes back in. It's just a capturing, and the other one is also a stress signal. So it seems to me the dog's a little bit more stressy here. But you know what? Everybody interprets whatever they wants to do
An expression here is in communication. It's known that every sign has a multiple meaning, and they
in
call
the
that.
context.
They have the polysemiology of the term. For instance, this picture shows a dog smiling, but the expert can tell us that the dog is stressed. The same picture expresses two different topics, and both people can argue to the end of the world and say and be right in both cases, and that's very interesting. So how we know what is the right understanding of this situation there? You need
I
to
give
train human here.
right. I give you an example.
Yes. Uh-huh. You're bored.
How do I look?
You look bored.
Hmm.
Or intense.
Happy.
You have to go to the bathroom.
No, you're sitting on the bowl.
So it's interesting because we see things based on how we feel about the
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
And so how we interpret the other one is based on empathy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a dog's give him a signal, assuming that you are empathetic to the situation. You understand what he's living through.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So as a behavior expert, what I see is I see the context. I see a dog looking out of the car window and a person outside taking a picture.
Mm-hmm.
How would I feel as a dog seeing my person outside of my car?
Yes.
What would worry about? First of all, I don't understand what he's doing out there and why is he holding a thing in front of his face. That concerns me, which will explain the lip licking. And the second picture is he's not doing anything different than that. I'm worried about it,
There you go.
This is how
right?
the dog worry about it.
Yeah, so we call it smile because it expresses the person smiling. But here is the expression, when do we smile? If we are feeling discomfort, I'm kind of like okay with it. I don't need to deal with it. I'm
Oh
out of
yeah,
here,
I
right?
see what you're saying there.
So that's why if we tap into that energy behind that picture, we can actually pick it up. Good. But we this is just a tiny little screenshot of a whole story. So I don't want to come up with a story. I'm just seeing picture, dog, car frame, person taking a picture, combination of that. Likely the dog is stressed.
Okay. Voila. Okay, that's the explanation. I have another one. We, we don't intend to have this show like a serious show,
No, we have fun with
but
it.
we try to have a relatively good time with the topic, and there's a broad interpretation of what we see there. And this one is quite. It's for me, it's mind-boggling, and
Are you
is that
talking the picture of Roman?
no? I'm thinking about this picture here.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
What
yeah.
the heck is going on here?
That's a good question.
Can, can he look backward normally like any other people or dog?
He missed. Somebody was throwing something and he missed it.
Spitz dogs are strange. They're doing strange things.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so obviously his whole world is upside down, and the only way to figure out what's going on is going to turn himself upside down to kind of figure things out. However, there is a scientific evidence behind that. The dogs actually have facial recognition, and they may observe pictures upside down differently,
Uh-huh.
right? So dogs being shown pictures upside down of familiar people, they were looking longer into that, trying to understand why those pictures assembling and something that they have already in their mind.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's quite interesting. The dogs, no matter how you position them, and my Chihuahua does this also sometimes. She turns her back backwards and she looks at me upside down. Does she see me upside down, or is the brain actually adjusting to that change? So we have noticed that people hanging longer periods of time upside down, the visual perception will adjust itself and comes back horizontal. And I have the feeling the dogs actually do that too. So no matter how you snuggle your dog and how you hold your dog, and you know how they sleep upside down with the head hanging downwards, they don't care. They just see who you are at the baseline.
Well, let
Okay.
me ask you, when you see it, when a dog is turning its head sideways and then you're talking and they go like this and go like that, and everyone thinks, well, they're wondering, what the hell are you trying to tell me?
Exactly, they do.
Is
So
that
what
is
they
that
do
what it
basically,
is?
yeah, they activate the right or the left brain half.
Okay.
These
Okay, so they're
associate
like,
with different
huh,
perceptions.
huh,
Yeah,
huh,
more
huh?
intellectual, more
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Interesting. So let's see what else we have here.
Oh,
We
by the
have,
way, just need
yeah,
to give you a
sure.
heads up. I have anniversary today with my wife,
I
our
know.
fourth
Happy
year marriage,
anniversary.
and we made a deal. I says, "Can I do the show and you do the shower?" Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
What a trade.
Yeah.
Shower. Let's see. This guy's too big.
Oh yeah.
The shot. Okay. Here's what the situation.
I was
Question.
about to say you should you're hiding it. You should hiding it and let us guess what's going on, because I was like, he sounds guilty. He has
Yeah.
done something.
Yes. So here's the captation when I got the picture. It said, "This dog has retrieved things in the house and bring that to the owner. Bring
Okay.
back the catch to the owner." Is there a behavior there? Something wrong with that? Is he trying to attract attention? Is he looking for a all-dressed burger with all the trims and toppings?
Well, let's start with the funny side. He obviously came because he wants some butter,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And have you seen a dog with a knife? No, he needs your help. So if your dog comes like this with the bread on his mouth, you better help him out with a little bit of bread and butter.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, that's good.
Well,
Why not?
actually, that's a hamburger bun, so he's looking for the hamburger to
Yeah,
go
it's
in
a
there.
hamburger.
The ham. Yep.
It's not a
Yeah.
Yep.
hamburger.
I
It's a
think that's the right
hamburger.
thing. Like,
Hamburger.
is that all I get? What about the rest? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You try to have something all the rest here.
Well, the other thing too is he is a retriever. So he's retrieving
Yes.
things, right?
Yes, he
Yep.
is.
Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And he may have been taught to do that. Just
Mhm.
like go get me my beer, go get me my water,
Exactly.
so they're used to doing that. So maybe that's just something he felt that person needed. I know I wouldn't teach my dog to go and get hamburger buns. That's for sure. Hamburger buns.
Hamburger buns. Yes,
Yeah.
hamburger.
It's funny because some scientists say dogs don't have emotions, so the
Oh,
dog doesn't feel guilty. And then they did a scientific research of having people assessing pictures. And so they were seeing a dog a certain way, and most of the people says, "Well, he looks guilty. He looks guilty," and the dog actually doesn't have done anything. On
Yeah.
the other hand, we see that um, you ask the dog a question, and the dog feels guilty, and most people will assume that he feels guilty because the question you ask he cannot answer, so he feels guilty. It seems to me there's more complicated to that. Dogs have a huge reservoir of emotions, and they can feel emotions just like a 5-year-old. Now, dogs, because they have these social settings and the social capacity, they do also feel doing wrong, and they may feel guilty, right? Now, of course, this loving pair, yeah, that's definitely the first date.
well,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
according to
If this wasn't a dog show, I would make a comment on that, but I'm not going to.
You are in a
well,
dog show, so come on, shoot it
Oh,
out.
no, I said, I was going to say, he
according to
thinks he's
the
going to get lucky.
according to the person who took the picture,
Yeah.
her interpretation of the scene there is the dog was afraid that they were going to the veterinarian
Okay.
while they were going to the park. So her interpretation is the dog was in fear that they were going to be taken to the vet, and this is the bigger, older one protecting the other one. So who knows? That was the caption.
Yeah, totally. I can see totally that happening. So you can train that. There are good trainers who actually can train that. I'm not one of those trainers who train this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But also, I see dogs protecting their partners by blocking.
Yeah.
Um, I could see that being an option. Yeah,
Okay.
but definitely they're cute.
Oh yeah. It's a lovely embrace.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we have here. We have, oops, interesting things. I'm not going to kick anybody out of the show. I'm just looking for something. I have a pre-selection of clip. They were put in a specific order, and as I display one, the order change. So now it's on the same topic that we just discussed, but what about the deal with toilet bowl and dogs?
Yeah, that's fun. You tell me whenever you guys ready for the scientific aspect of it.
Kathy, first, what do you think? Oh, your mic is gone. No microphone, Kathy.
Oh, this is just, it looks typical to me.
Been there, did
I don't
that.
see I don't see anything weird with that. It's called toilet dunking.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a Polish thing.
it's a Polish thing. Okay,
Yeah,
if you put it that way.
yeah.
There's three
So
dogs there.
I see nothing wrong with it. It's like, hey, Well, they might be mad at him too. The two puppies might be mad, and they push the one in the toilet. That seems logical. But other than that, I don't know.
Okay. Roman, your take on that?
Well, it's definitely a deep dive in behavior. Like they really dive him really deep. So one fun aspect why dogs drink out of the toilet bowl is that actually there is more running water in the toilet bowl than is in their standing water bowl in the house. So I've noticed dogs who have standing water or the water bottle is dirty, they'll likely go to the toilet bowl because it's always running water there, and dogs are attracted to running water.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So
So
if you
if
have a
you
dog, don't put any toilet cleaners or kind of in your toilet bowl, or make sure the toilet door is closed. But the right thing to do is actually refreshing the water twice a day.
or call the plumber.
Yeah. Well, I
If you
think
have
somebody may have put like a toy or something in there, and they were trying to go and get it. Maybe, again, that looks like it might be a lab breed,
right.
so they like water.
If you have a leaky toilet, like a sound that the water is always running, that might be attracting dog.
Yeah. So maybe they are kind of just simply Portuguese toilet dogs
Uh-huh.
or something like that.
Portuguese, okay. If you put it
Yeah.
that way.
Well, there are Portuguese water dogs, and maybe there are Portuguese toilet bowl dogs.
Okay.
Did you know that poodles actually are water dogs?
Poodle?
Yeah, and they're actually not French, actually German. French just grabbed it.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
it's mine. We have the
yeah.
Frenchies, now we want bigger dogs.
It's
Let's grab the
mine and I will not let you do anything with mine. Okay, this
exactly.
is the guy. Yeah, he's a very interesting guy. This guy is sucking his paw. This is
Oh,
his
oh yeah.
trademark.
How fun is that? I have a dog who actually does that. So we actually named her leg differently than the dog.
Already?
Really?
Yep. So
Okay.
her leg is called Frank. So she's sitting there, and all of a sudden, Frank comes up. You put him down, Frank comes back again. So Frank has his own life,
Uh,
Yeah.
right? And so, yeah.
it's coming
And
alive
so,
on its own.
and yeah, when she gets nervous, then that Frank comes up and does his own thing. Her
Okay.
back leg is actually Frank.
Yeah. Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
God. Okay.
yeah.
The hand.
I've seen the one video where there's the dog that's on the couch and he's turning sideways and he's looking at his tail. And then when that tail gets closer, he goes after it.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely so agitated over this tail that's
Mhm.
in his face.
It can actually be psychological problems where dogs
Really?
actually
I would
dissociate
imagine.
with their legs and their tails, and they believe it's something different. So they're
Yeah.
actually going aggressively towards the legs and towards the tail because they don't see it coming, and all of a sudden it shows up. So resource cutting your leg, it's a strange one.
So
Yeah.
a dog chasing his tail. Is that because you don't know that he has a tail and it's a
No, we
discovery?
were considering disorder, like puppies playing with their tails because it's just moving and they're not really aware of their body. But it's also a disorder where dogs get not uh, mentally not healthy, and so they chase their tails, self-stimulation, and they're just going round and round and round.
Yeah.
Um, but some dogs have also phantom pains, and some dogs also sometimes get triggered, and so sometimes they feel their parts are not their own, right?
Okay. You know, the one that I really, really, really like is when they eat their own poop. Yeah. Or dig into the cat litter.
Well,
Really?
poop eating is actually pretty normal for dogs,
Yeah.
and it starts very early when the mother is cleaning the den. So clear up, dogs are not den animals, but wherever that den temporary for the birth is, um, then the mother keeps clean. So she licks the puppy's butt and pee pee so they can be cleaned. So without that trigger, the puppy would not pee and poop. So they create that stimulation. But later on, they also, because of lack of nutrients they have, they also eat their poop to contain and keep their enzymes under control. So it's kind of like a supplement. Ew.
Yeah.
Imagine taking
Well,
vitamin.
so I mean, can you stop them from doing that? Is a question that I
Yeah,
know a
first
lot
of
of
all, you
people
have
have
to
asked.
really check in with the digestive system, and there are supplements to fix that.
Okay.
However, sometimes it can be trauma based, where dogs actually are born and raised in filth and dirt, and
Mm.
so they think that's part of the diet. I had a dog who actually thought this was part of his diet. He would eat his food and he'd eat his poop because that's what he's learned to eat, dirt.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that was a long. It took me about 2 months to get him kind of back to normal. He would
Does it
literally
have
go
it?
outside hungry, eating poop who everybody found out.
Does it have anything to do with his diet?
Yeah, it has to do with
Okay.
diet, but it also had to do with trauma.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, then that's not that's a habit that absolutely can be broken. That's a great thing to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one more just for a conversation.
Is he shaking hand?
He's holding
He
hands.
is
Oh, this is
holding
sweet.
hands. A dog, and there's many example of that I found doing some research on the topic. Many dogs will go to their owner and ask the owner to hold them by the paw.
Dogs do kind of these kind of strange gestures. I have one. My dogs. We have these gestures. Are we as we are in good standing? So if he feels he did something wrong for some reason, he has his own PTSD, and he feels guilty about something. I'm coming up like, oh, we're good. So he gives me high five, and that's it. So now we're good. Um, Sometimes we have to create those gestures to equalize problems. And so if the dog feels we are upset for some reason, or we are really angry about something, and the dog feels about himself is the reason for that, then we have to create that ritual to equalize it and neutralize that feelings.
Wow, that's
So
very.
shaking hands, but don't walk your dog out in a party like that. I mean,
It's will be a long walk
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
on
So
three
zoomies.
legs.
What about zoomies?
Yeah,
What's the
Zoomies is a
means?
great thing to discuss a little bit. They're super awesome. You should see Zoomies literally running on the wall, right? High speed.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's dangerous to get hurt. You know.
Excuse my ignorance. What is a zoomie? What are you talking
Meow,
about?
meow, meow. Come on,
Oh,
you
a
should have a
dog's.
Zoomy video. Come on, show me guys a Zoomy video.
Give me a
My
second.
dog Zoomy video.
My dog's
My
zoomie
Meanwhile,
video.
I explain. So the other thing that happens sometimes at sunset, dogs are more active at sunset. So this is a time where predators are on the hunt, and so dogs get very active. Usually, short before sunset, when the sun kind of starts going down. And what I usually do to cut it off is basically don't give them an opportunity to go to zoomies. I'm taking out for a walk or feeding them to pass that critical time. The other thing that happens usually, if dogs are not in a healthy diet and have not healthy muscles, they can actually hurt themselves in that attempt. So we have to be careful. Zoomies are kind of cute, but can be dangerous. You can usually become a like $1,500, $2,000 bill just out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Eh,
Bigger dogs are more likely than smaller dogs because the smaller dogs have just better angles. Um, but slippery floors, jumping off the couch, these things, especially around puppies, this can be kind of expensive game.
Well, is there anything to do with having a lot of energy that they do the
Yes,
zoomies?
yes, but I wouldn't see energy as a container where you get overfill and then you run it off.
Okay.
I think it's more internal drive for your dog to go out hunting because it's a good time to hunt. It's an internal clock that gives the
Okay.
dog a little bit more extra boost.
Okay, I think I found a zoomie And if you give me a chance to retrieve this thing, um,
Now, of our viewers, share some pictures of your dogs doing weird things.
Yeah.
yeah.
How weird can it be? I remember I had a dog. Basically, he was sleeping, legs up on the couch, and his head basically hanging off the couch on the floor. If I would be there, I would have my head like that. That's how I was sleeping every night.
And why
And
did he
then
sleep that way? Because he was comfortable.
right, and then you
Well,
have the greyhounds. They twisted themselves
Yeah.
like you don't even know where the front and the back is because everything is kind of tangled
Yeah.
in.
How
okay.
about butt sniffing?
Oh, butt sniffing is cool.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of
Hey,
like
we
giving
should hang
handshake,
out, Roman.
right?
So we're talking about dog sleeping. This guy has his own place on the
Oh,
couch,
isn't
and he
it cute?
pull itself the blanket and make sure that he got under the blanket and sleep like a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we okay? I have that. I did find a Zoomie, and I tried to retrieve it because I found it and I don't know where it is. It's on my timeline somewhere. Try to retrieve it. No, no,
So
no.
here's the butt sniffing part.
Yeah, go ahead.
Imagine we would be humans and we'd have a business card, and on that business card we can smell what we have for dinner, what actually sex orientation we have, are we males or females.
Yeah.
The other thing we can smell is how stressed we are. What's our work schedule? Must be very stressed. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he had dinner. Oh, he's eating with his friends on the same
Yeah.
table. Like good stuff.
Why is that important to know to a dog?
Well, here's the thing. Dogs are very clear about the territories. And actually peeing and pooping is part of territory fence, setting up fence. And just like wolves, who are even more sensitive, they barely have 1% overlapping territories. So the
Oh,
wolves
okay.
don't cross territories. So what they do is they just poop around that area. They go ahead until they find a reference, and then they poop at that reference too. So both know about the neighbors without actually
Okay.
seeing them. Okay.
So
So
what's
if
the
you see a
recourse if
mapping,
some? I'm
the
sorry. Go ahead.
resources, securing the resources, telling everybody, hey, I'm hunting on that area. Go hunt on your area.
And what happens if somebody goes into their area?
Well, we
Then
have
it's
disputes,
okay.
but naturally disputes don't end well, and
Right.
that is being comes down the generations. Whoever did the wrong thing never came back home, so obviously these guys go extinguish, and so only the smart guys survive. So you see a property, stay out of it.
Yeah. Right.
Now if you're really hungry, you will risk your life to get more food, which means you expand your territory, then you have to fight about it. But usually nature is very natural around that. And wolves, for example, are not overeating or overkilling. They only do what they need to do. And usually they
Yeah.
go after that what's abundant.
Hmm.
And that's a good thing. And dogs are kind of similar, but dogs, because they're so social beings, somebody got a little bit more of a snack out of it.
Well, we're talking about hunting. Maybe
No, that
some.
he's clearly vegetarian.
Maybe he's vegetarian. Maybe he's a farmer in the making. So why dogs are going after plants and dig out plants and well, first, is that true that dog will dig in the ground
Yeah, they
to
actually have a
retrieve
lot
things?
of nutrients in the soil. And that's because they the nutrients are important to the dogs, and it's healthier for the dog to eat from a floor or from the soil, not our toxic soil, like the natural soil in the woods, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Than in our carpet. And so they regulate the internal parasites. They get a lot of additional nutrients, and they eat plants, not only as vegetarian approach, but also they are very sensitive and they are self-medicating. So see plant eating and soil eating as pharmacognosy,
Hmm.
the dogs knowing what they need and they can smell it out of one particle per billion out of that plant. So he can smell a particular plant that has more of that what he needs and is going to eat that particular side of the plant and leave the other one around.
Wow.
So he can select exactly what specific toxin he needs to help himself. So that's why it's very important to not use toxin and pesticide on your yard when your dog is,
And fertilizer.
and go natural.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's a learning point for me. Definitively, I'm a guy born in a city and living in the city. I was not aware of that.
Okay, hey, I have a Zoomie. If you want to let me,
Yeah,
you
go
want
with
to share my,
Zoomies.
you want to share
Finally.
my screen.
Here's a Zoomie,
Okay.
and you can control it on the
I don't really disagree with the explanation, but the Zoomies were cute.
Oops. Let me.
Why fall flat?
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. You saved the show again. You're on mute, Kathy. That's why
Maybe she's about to have Zoomies now. Watch this.
she's going to jump off her chair. You mute yourself. Did
Yeah,
I mute
because
you?
no, I muted because I was. Listen, you guys, I have to get off the show now. I'm so sorry. I have another show I'm doing, and
Okay, good.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead,
but
use Zoomies.
I want to say that we are doing the Dog Connection show in conjunction with the Golden Girls community. We're doing a special Betty White challenge on Monday, which will be Betty White's 100th birthday. And we hope that you will all join us. We'll be posting later today when the show is going to be. So stay tuned for us on Monday for a special edition of the Dog Connection show.
What time?
Again, we're going to let you know what that is. I still have to coordinate with one more person that's going to be on the show.
This is so anticlimactic.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it'll be in
Monday,
the
I want to
morning.
do there. Yeah, I
in the
want.
morning.
Where? When? At what time?
We'll let you know
Okay.
later.
Good.
Hey,
Go
Bye,
ahead,
bye,
use
Tuesday,
Zoomies.
you
Stay
know.
away from the toilet bowl. I'm telling you.
Yeah, stay away from the toilet bowl.
Okay, bye,
Bye
everyone.
Bye
bye.
bye.
Thank you, Roman.
Good. We've done this.
We did
I
that.
know dogs. It's very dangerous because
Yeah.
it's a slippery slope to make fun of things that are actually not fun and serious stuff.
Well, it's a learning. It's a way of learning
It's a
today.
learning curve.
Yeah, I
I
have
see.
one. Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Shoot it.
there's only one more I would like to share because this is. Whoops, it's the wrong thing here. Yeah, all kind of new feature. What's going on? You share screen, and then there's one I didn't show yet. Where it is? Come on, it's right here. Ah, explain that to me. Dog climbing trees.
Yeah, that looks to me like Belgian Malinois. They have these kind of tendencies to go up whatever it's being walkable or even not. They can walk on ropes. They're actually trained to do that. They're very high qualified dogs, and that's why they're preferred police dogs because they do all this fancy stuff.
Okay,
They're highly trainable.
let me show the scale of where he is.
Oh yeah, they can literally run all the way up the tree.
And this is like, if I eyeball this, is between 8 and 10 feet in the air.
I would give it, yep, pretty much at least 6 to 7, 8 feet at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, at least 8 feet.
Yeah.
This is I look at the size of the dog, and how many times? 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 times the length of the dog as the height of the tree. So if the
Yep.
dog is 3, that's 30 inches. 5 times 150 inches. That's almost 10 feet. Okay, so this breed of dog can go up the tree, walk on the rope, and do things like that. And this is why they are used for police service, things like that.
Hmm.
Okay,
So don't try this at home with your dog.
I will not. I guarantee you, I don't have a tree like that first, and it's not that big.
I remember I had a client whose dog actually was climbing up the tree to see the cat next door.
Is the
Dog-
intent was to jump from the tree into the window and cut the dog?
I think he calculated. I had a dog that I took care of from a shelter, and I knew he was a jumper, so I was always with him outside.
Yeah,
And so at some point, I had him on a leash actually, and then I started picking up poop. And as I pick up poop, I basically like look down.
yeah,
All of a sudden, I hear whoop, and I saw the leash moving. So I turned my head, and he was already 6 feet up the wall, and he was standing next to me, and we were standing next to the wall. So literally, he went up 6 feet on the top of the chain of the link. Sorry, of the wood fence.
yeah.
And
Wow.
lucky I had this leash on, so I got him back on. But some dogs can really climb a lot
Mm-hmm.
just for fun. Like Pyrenees dogs can climb a lot. Shepherds can climb a lot.
I have another one about climbing, and that will be our final one, I guess. Let me see if I can retrieve it. It's there because now the order where I put these things is just messed up. Oh, that's the one. Okay, climbing.
I'm telling you, dogs are weird. What's his name? Zorro?
I don't know, but this is a pretty interesting position there. Standing on the back of the other dog, and the other dog say, "Yeah, where do you want to go now?"
Some dogs have really no sense of other one's body, and they just sit on you.
Yeah.
And if you push them away, hey, you hurt me, and they're like, really?
Uh,
How about you
I
being quiet?
I have a friend. His dog. I don't know what the breed was, but it was a substantial size of dog, like 120-pound dog,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and he's very gentle dog. It was all great. And when you sit on the couch, he come and sit on your lap, and he's tall enough to just like land his back leg on your thigh, and you don't move from there.
Yeah, this is my everyday morning wake up and I have a dog paw in my face.
Uh huh.
Yes, I do sleep with my dog sometimes.
Uh huh. And they let you do that?
Upon request. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You have very tolerant dog.
He lets me up on my bed. Very tolerant dog. Great.
Yeah. They let you sleep with them. Oh, thank you, Roman. That was very
Yeah.
nice. We have like a light. Ah, we forget something. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I have to share that with everybody.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for mentioning.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
I have a
welcome.
workshop on Sunday coming up this
Hmm.
weekend. Very
Yes.
interesting about healing aggression, understanding trauma, and all of that without the use of force and punishment, actually force free, and sometimes not even doing anything to the dog physically, just helping the dog through a
No,
process.
that's the wrong one. That's the one I was trying to show previously.
Hmm.
So I'm sorry. I will undo that. Remove this. I'm looking for your tab. I will find it. I'm very skillful at that, as you know. Okay, that's on the one. It's somewhere in the list. I'm going through the list now. Hey, I think this is it. Yeah, your name is on the tab there. So that's yours.
Yeah, that looks like a same. Yep. So
Yeah.
the first one is on the 16th on Sunday, which is healing aggressive behavior. It's a 3-part workshop on one, like it's a 3-hour workshop, honestly. And then we have a puppy parenting workshop on January 30, which is about how to help your puppy become the awesome puppy you want it to be.
Yeah.
And it's very advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So people who love dogs, people who work with rescues, so trainers, behaviorists, very interesting subject to have a completely different approach on puppy parenting and puppy raising a puppy. And of course, on January 16, have a completely different approach on behavior healing
Okay.
instead of behavior corrections or behavior punishment.
Mm-hmm. So how you proceed to get there? To if somebody want to attend the
Oh,
seminars?
you just click there,
Yes.
click on ticket,
Okay.
okay, and you're good to go.
Excellent. So that's an invitation to our audience. Holisticdogtraining.org. That's a nonprofit organization. Roman is the head of that organization, and Roman is also about to publish a
I'm not a
book.
non-profit organization, but I do have an organization. We're actually educating a lot.
Okay,
So
it's
our
an
main purpose is to
educational.
educate. Non-profit? No, unfortunately not. It costs a lot of money. We don't get any funds. We just,
It's an ORG
yeah,
organization, so it's not a commercial organization in that sense.
yeah.
Provide education and training. I will say thank you for that. Thank you for providing that education and training. And any closing word,
Yeah,
conclusion?
let your dog be crazy. Have
Yeah,
fun. Enjoy it.
yes. Remember, the dog is very tolerant towards you. Be tolerant toward your dog. On these word of wisdom, I think we're going to say goodbye to everybody. We'll see you next week. Kathy will be us, she said, with for the entire duration of the program. So be well,
I'm very
and
excited about her news.
yes, I am. We are all. So we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye bye.